Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to what is the Road to Rio. We are looking at our conclusion here today. It's going to be me, joined by Jay Kaplan, Jason, however you want to call him. I'm sure he will accept many names. But, well, today we've got Liquid versus Yeah Game in a bit of a, well, what we expect to be a one-sided matchup. But, Jason, one that Liquid desperately need.
Yeah, 100%. Consider if you look at how the entirety of this entire group stage has gone, you have Liquid currently sitting at 2-2 with victories over Bad News Bears and MIBR. But then they have losses up against Envy and Fury, and this puts them in a very peculiar position where they still do have a chance to qualify, but I guess more importantly, have a chance to kind of be knocked out and not make it through into the quarterfinals, which would be a massive shame if you're a Liquid fan.
Yeah, and I think especially after last year that they've made many a fan, but also just if you're a fan of Counter-Strike in general, because they were the one team, I suppose EG as well, who really managed to actually conquer in like EU and on the world scene. Like Liquid made it to #1 in the world. They really did show that anybody could, well, not anybody, but different regions could come up to the top and challenge the likes of Astralis, and now there definitely seems to have been a bit of a fall off from there. They are struggling. Maybe it's the online, maybe it's just the break in general, but whatever it is, it hasn't been the same Liquid just yet. This game, however, well, if they lose that one, then I think people really are going to start worrying, because Yeah Gaming, we watched them in one of the first matches versus Envy. They got battered. They did put up a fight versus Furia, however, who are currently at the top of this group, beating Liquid as well. I don't know if that was just a Brazilian matchup, or maybe there's a bit more to Yeah Gaming. I kind of hope there is, but we're going to have to see if they can battle versus the Titans.
Well, Yeah Gaming's already knocked out. The only team that's actually safe at the moment is Furia. Even MIBR do have a chance potentially of being knocked out. We do see it looks like Liquid going for the push over towards Banana right off the bat, trying to gather some early information. Stu with the other flashbang looking to throw in. Doesn't seem like, Yeah, Gaming's actually going to be pushing up into this. There's just going to be one player. Never mind. As quick as I speak about it, they do start to push up Banana. Stewie with the flashbang might allow Naf and Nitro to clean up this aggressive push on the pistol round.
Going to come down to timing, and there is the peak coming out from Nitro. Flashbang through just seconds later, but some of the team were playing anti-flash, so they've traded this effectively. Stewie is still in position, but his teammates are very far away. Stewie actually going to peek around the mist smoke. That's a bit of a mistake by the T side, but they will manage to cross. The bomb yet to actually make its way over. Has to be very careful, but Stewie won't be able to deny either player. He does, however, catch RCF.
Oh. Catches Dumao as well. Last player taps in, trying to push in towards CT, but Elige going to be quickly disposing of him, and Team Liquid will be able to take the pistol round here. But the bomb was planted for Yeah Gaming, so not a total loss for them. They have to decide if they do want to go for the full save here, or if they do want to force up into this. But yeah, I kind of wonder, like, what has been going on with Liquid? Like, this is a team that, you know, 2019 we expected to, you know, probably be the first place out of Group B, and yet they have been struggling this entire time. I mean, that 0-2 loss versus Envy was kind of peculiar. Maybe it's a team they didn't prepare for as much because they assume, oh, you know, we should be able to beat Envy alone just based off skill or something like that. But they definitely struggled in that, only taking 14 rounds in the total of the two maps.
Yeah, I think that was the big shock, and then Furia, who've been in great form, maybe not so much. Like, that's one that I think many, including myself, can forgive a little bit more. Although I have been very impressed with Envy, and in all honesty, I think they have earned their spot through. Whether they make it or not, that's another thing altogether. Of course, it's a strict process with limited spaces available. I'm actually fully invested into this one. Now, normally you see a couple of players take the hit, allow an AK to go over to the other side, basically set up a little bit better in terms of rifles. They've only got the Galil and a singular AK-47. I've seen a lot more from the Tech 9 recently, which I have to say I've been enjoying. It's always nice to see a pistol come back in after basically being shunned by Valve for a little bit. It was very overpowered before, so you can kind of understand it. But this round is definitely going to be tough. Lots more utility invested into than weaponry, in fact, for both sides. And they're going to expect NAF to be here. They will not. Already starting to farm up some extra cash in a round where there was actually a lot of money invested for Yeah.
Oh, twist. Some company coming over towards the A site. He keeps the composure. He gets the first 2 kills. Tatsun's able to respawn on Elise. Just going to walk around the corner. You see Tatsun had no idea there's going to be a second player there. And Liquid, an easy round for them. They do have still 2 SMGs carried over. You can see that, yeah, Gaming, well, they don't really have a lot of money here. So I would imagine they're going to go for basically the full save. But again, tough times. Like, yeah, Gaming, this is, I guess for them, more importantly, is like a really good chance that they can get a lot of, like rounds in, a lot of sets in against Team Liquid, against teams they can definitely learn a lot from overall, to obviously improve as a team. And I think for them, considering they're already out, this is a chance for them just to throw like wild strats and maybe things you've been working on to see how they work against some of the top teams in the world. They did have a couple of pistols bought up, but it seems like Liquid don't really seem to care too much as they push out and get some kills. And now it's just Dumao and IDK to try to survive, try to get something going.
Yeah, they could still make this one costly, though. Like, already a player in the form of Twist fairly low on HP. Naf and Elise going to combine to kill off IDK and leave Duma all on his lonesome. Yeah, I definitely agree with you, though. This is a great opportunity to practice against a level of team that they've never played against before. Like, going into this tournament, I'm not even sure we can talk about, like, Tier 2, Tier 3 NA teams. Realized I should probably close Origin, so let's make a nice little pause screen just for a second.
Don't worry, at least you don't have Windows not activated.
Yeah, no, that would be really bad. But yeah, don't want everybody to see friends going in and out of games. Someone just stopped playing Apex Legends, which is great for them, but more interested in the Counter-Strike at the moment. Either way, we are going to have our first buy round. It is going to be RCF and Nitro on the AWP. Definitely not the flashiest AWPer in the world. He's got plenty of other players to do that on his side, but he is consistent as hell. It's going to be tough to break him down. Someone who's going to be intelligent in a lot of these situations. And then on the B site, a hell of a lot of utility, but there are still some pieces missing. The MP9, obviously, on Twist is a bit of a bonus round strategy. The T's using a fair amount of utility to try and take over some control, but they're being patient, not taking too many risks. They are, however, going to be bombarded with utility. Double incendiary, in fact, thrown down. It's going to allow Stewie to push up. They might not expect him to be this aggressive. Has to be careful that he doesn't touch the Molotov, though, because that gives everything away. IDK more than ready for that push to come in. I do question whether or not they'll still expect 2 players to be here, though. The risk taken from Liquid could pay off.
Oh, man. 4 flashes being thrown over the top. There's a 5th as well. They do push him straight towards CT and catch Nitro completely off guard. But like you said before, will they expect the 2 players still tucked away inside? Alicia's gone. Well, now they're going to know those other players. The bomb does get dropped about 30 seconds left remaining. And IDK will get the return frag on that. And now Twist, I mean, he's just going to save the gun. No need to contest into this. It was a nice attempt. I feel like if Stewie didn't touch the Molotov, that probably would have been a kill. At least one. But you live, you learn. Stay out of the fire. And Twist is trying to hold on to this AWP, but I think Tatizan might have an idea of where he's going to be. But it's the only one really chasing this right now anyways. There's not really a ton of money to use on their side, so I think Twist should be safe and keeping this for the next round. But a good sign out of EI Gaming. And if we look at the players, at least for them, I think RCF was definitely a player that really stepped up on the AWP. He definitely had a good couple of moments. I think that was up against Fury, if I'm not mistaken, the match we casted.
Yeah, I think Tadazin probably had his best moments on an MP9. He's buying that a lot. I was quite surprised with how many kills he managed to get with that weapon, but for now, well, they don't really need to invest into one of those. CT should still have a buy here, though. Twist will be able to drop that AWP over. They're, in fact, going to invest into a secondary one, so Stewie likely to be getting aggressive over Banana. They do have to be careful not to get too overconfident, I guess you could say, with these aggressive investments. Obviously, a lot of money put in to this purchase, but at the same time, they definitely have the skill set to take this over the line. I like the flashbang. It's going to leave Elige in an awkward situation. I'm actually quite surprised he still decided to push after the flash comes in, and it seems like EA Gaming are doing a great job of punishing Liquid very early on. Now, this is something I think they need to do. Like, they definitely have the players on Liquid that will show no respect. I think Stewie definitely takes the biscuit when it comes to that. Literally nicknamed the smoke criminal in the past. Well, and now, I guess, he's the first person that springs to mind. So, yeah, Gaming need to make sure that they shut down this aggression. Just say, hey, you've got to show us a little bit more respect. Otherwise, we are going to punish you. Something they weren't able to do versus Envy. They really struggled. However, this time, with Elige gone, there's been a risk taken by the CT side. It's Stewie peeking on Banana. He's just going to make sure nobody's coming towards the B side. And it does mean they can at least leave 3 players stacked on A.
I think it's going to be difficult, though, for them to make Liquid respect them. I think they have to like take a lead and buy a few rounds as well. Twist, flashbang's perfect to catch him out, but he still gets the kill nonetheless. And Nitro, he's going to miss his first shot, but Twist won't. Patson's pushed into sight, but Naf will be there to help protect him. And now the last 2 players on Yeah Gaming, well, at least one of them is trying to push out through apartments. That nade's not going to quite connect, and RCF is going to be pushing on short. But again, Twist, this man just seems to know where the players are going to be every single time. Gets himself a nice 3K. And leaves it all onto IDK with 15 HP.
He's going to need a lot of luck to get out of this situation. Maybe saving the ult might be the right call. And yeah, something that they won't be able to invest into in the next round. He has enough money to buy himself an AK, so a decent decision from him. But yeah, they're going to have a tough time clearing Twists out of the pit. I'll be honest. That's one of the positions where he just seems to thrive. I think also when he has a good game, Liquid just seem to be unstoppable. There's a reason, obviously, he was one of the top-rated players of last year and had some of the craziest highlight clips ever. Like, I think it was a 4K on the B side of Dust 2. Just utterly ridiculous headshots. I think Anders probably lost his voice after that one. But that was just clean. Like, clean, instant headshots. Yeah, Gaming never really stood a chance. And I do agree with you. Like, they're going to have to make Liquid respect them, but at the same time, getting the opening kill might not necessarily be enough, because when they got towards that A site, they haven't really challenged for Banana, and it didn't make things easy for Liquid, but at least gave them the ability to stack up their defenses a little bit more. So I'd like to see them challenge a bit in the early stages of the round. Nitro, once again, is going to be pressured. He's just about going to get around the corner. And now they have to be careful. He's going to be setting up the flashbang again. It's spot on, but he goes down. In the meantime, however, Elige has found a kill, and Twist can now switch his position to try and keep an eye on Arch.
Nice little shot out of Stewie. There's still a player towards B. They'll look at a push. It's going to be IDK trying to pull out the flank. Stewie's, I don't think, actually going to spot him out. King kill coming through. Tatson's going to lose the bomb. However, that could have been the rotate coming back in towards B, and they know where IDK will be as well. He's got a minute left to potentially take the bomb. And the thing is for me, Tom, is the fact that, like, Liquid, okay, well, yeah, Gaming, they have nothing to lose here. It's not like this victory is going to, catapult them through into a chance to make it into quarterfinals. Whereas Team Liquid, it's do or die time, right? They're the ones that have to win this match, so they might need to play a little bit more respectful unless they feel like they can continue to take this game with such control that they've been able to show off so far. But they have to be careful. Like, they can't afford to slip again. Like, this is the major we're talking about. A team of Liquid's caliber not making it, that I feel like that's going to be unheard of, and that's going to really hurt if they somehow, down the line, the points they could have won here from getting through to quarterfinals or farther, if that's what they needed to make it through into the major, that would be devastating.
Yeah, unfortunately as well, I think in this scenario, they might be quite reliant on other teams to actually help them out, which for a team like Liquid is probably not something they're used to. Like, most of the time, they're going to get through off their own merit. So, yeah, it could get awkward, but I don't want to be the one that has to sort of talk through all the ways that this group can go. I'm sure there's someone else far more capable. Please, great position. How does he get 3 there? He should have been dead within seconds. I think Nitro actually killed the player looking the other way. Elige is actually going to kill off 4. That's ridiculous. Like, they were all looking at him and somehow nobody connected the shots.
He's just Neo. You just can't hit him. At least in that round. I mean, whatever. It's still 6-1, and that's obviously some mistakes Yeah Gaming's making. You can't afford to not get that kill. You cannot afford to not trade that out. But they do have the full buy-up coming through. Not much money behind that, however, after, if they do lose this round. But I think we're going to see Liquid start to stretch their legs. 6-1 up on Inferno. They're obviously going to feel confident. Maybe a little bit too confident there, as Naf was peeking the corner a little bit too far. Or maybe not expecting the player to peek in with the Molotov. That was RCF. Again, a player we did talk about as having some standout performances. And it does leave Elige Stewie by himself at the B site. There's no rotations coming anytime soon either. It's actually, well, of course, just as talk about, they do start to rotate some players in, but he's gonna have to hold on to this, and he has no utility left to do it.
They put in high pressure situation. We are going to see Elige start that rotation. Utility on his belt as well. Because of that player loss, Nitro is actually going to get aggressive as well. So just try and basically trade things back. But that's another missed shot. There's been a few this game from Nitro. Definitely not having his best game so far. Of course, luckily, the rest of the squad are still performing to a high standard. And with twists on the site, I wouldn't hold it against him to win that round. At the same time, these are going to go rotating. They even have a chance to maybe split through Arch, which would mean Stewie's absolutely screwed. But instead, more down to whether or not Elige will win that battle, and he takes a lot of damage. He's now completely focused on that one man, and Stewie has to kill everyone. That's basically the goal here. He needs to do absolutely everything. The full team pushing in his direction, the bomb being planted in front of him, and there's nothing he can do. He doesn't get a single kill. Does do some damage at least. And while Twist, once again, he doesn't really have a choice. He's just got to try and save his gun. Everything just seemed to fall apart all at once for Liquid in that round. And yeah, Gaming, well, they've got their second on the board.
Still a very close one considering you have IDK on 5 health, RCF at 14, and Fasten down to 25. But it's not like they're going to break the economy out of Liquid. Like, they still have money to spend. They still can afford up at least one op, unless they want to go double yet again. But I guess that is one thing we should look at as it's a start. You know, they punished NAF on the early peak over towards B. They're able to capitalize off of that, taking down Stewie, and then taking the B site with the bomb plant. So again, maybe using the aggression of Liquid to their advantage, but I feel like gonna have to do that more often on this T side. I feel like when they swap to CT, Liquid will just be able to penetrate, you know, different sides over and over again and just take the aim duels that they might be looking for.
Gonna see an investment back in. No real problems just yet for Liquid, so they don't really have to worry too much. We're going to see this deep incendiary down again, which will leave them in a bit of an awkward spot. Stewie goes running. He gets the kill, but it's NAF to be traded out. I think he was behind him, and now Nitro has to try and hold down the fort, and already it's forced back on towards the site. T's not going to overextend by the looks of things. They're going to wait at least a little bit, but no, the flashbang's through. Nitro, this time he connects, and the second is going to go his way as well, leaving just 2 players remaining. I do wonder if it would have been a better decision just to try and slow it down. I can understand Gaming wanting to try and put the pressure onto Nitro. Instead, it's going to be Twist, and he is so well positioned. He's clinical today as well. It will be both kills going his way. 10-1 at the moment. I think they need a new strat, and that's avoid Twist.
It's not a bad strat. It's kind of like avoid Brolin back when he's using the SG in pit. Just don't go away. Just get away from him. It's too deadly. And it seems to be Twist is having the same kind of fate here. How is he? Only died 1 time is insane to me. Because it doesn't seem like they're playing like super safe in any way either. Like they're going for some like aggressive plays. They're putting themselves in positions where they could be picked off. Elige had a nade out and throw that one in and not really connect, unfortunately. And RCF is going to punish Nitro as he's overextended. And there you go. RCF again gets a second. The flashbang assist was there. I'm not sure why the credit didn't come through. Maybe it was a team flash. And then Fasten just peeks around short with no gun in hand, with the incendiary in his hands. They had a massive man advantage, and now things have been equalized, and now Liquid actually have the lead.
Yeah,
what's going on?
They finally managed to kill him off, but unfortunately the trades were not worthwhile. Twist 12-2 now, and IDK had a couple more kills. Might have heard the footsteps. Definitely knows that there's a man in towards the library now. He does have a fair amount of time as well. If he can isolate one of these duels, opportunity, especially the man around the bomb. Stewie just gonna be patiently waiting. IDK gonna try and find an elevated angle, but takes so much damage in return, and NAF is more than happy just to fall off, knowing that Stewie has his back. 8-2. Liquid build on their lead. Definitely seemed like that round should have been going the other way, though. 2 opening picks coming up for Gaming, and they just slightly overextend before going for a proper execution together. And as we've already mentioned, like if you're going to give someone like Twist individual duels, most of the time he's going to win them.
I feel like basically everyone on Liquid's going to win them if you do give them those individual duels. Even thinking back to the round where NAF did die early on Banana, and then Stewie's left to his own at the B site. I mean, they were low on HP. There was a very realistic chance that Stewie could have been able to pull it off, but it was a nice shot that was able to shut him down. And I don't even know what you do if you're, Like, you're playing against a team who's won the Intel Grand Slam, a team that's at one point was the #1 team in the world. Yeah, like it's tough to do, and I don't even know where like the weaknesses of Liquid are really going to be on this map for a team like yeah. I mean, RCF again using the aggression out of Liquid for himself. He pushed straight past up in middle, got the quick kill onto I believe that was Nitro, and then turned around and got the second kill. Maybe that's something that you could use, but the fact is they were up 5-on-3, and then they still go on to lose that advantage and lose the round.
Yeah, basically that's just a round that they have to convert. It doesn't even really come down to strategy. It's just either patience or, well, just trading. It's not the most complex thing in the world, but when you're up against Liquid, you can't afford to make those mistakes. Again, we're going to see those early nades dropping down, but once more, the T's are far more passive. Now, they can't really go for too much in terms of fakes or even counter utility because they don't have it. They have 2 smokes, a couple of flashbangs, and a singular Molotov. It's enough, but they just have to time it right, especially with how much is still on the Liquid side. They're able to throw out these counter nades, buy themselves extra time. You don't want to be the team throwing in your 2 smokes and Molotov and then having an incendiary slowing you down with another smoke to play with. So they do have to be careful here. There goes the first. The rest of the utility will surely follow as they look to try and clear out the angles on the site. Stewie is actually just going to be burning. He burns all the way down to 30 HP, but he does manage to cross. And luckily, Nitro throwing in flashbangs and Naf just hitting shots is going to make things a little bit awkward. RCF trying to wrap around, but they're prepared for it this time. And the remaining 2 are just going to be walking into the site. They didn't even know that Stewie was still in the back. And with the bomb rolling, yes, the square bomb rolling into the smoke, it's going to become very difficult now for IDK.
It's more of a rectangle, Tom. Just gotta correct you
Still
there.
shouldn't roll.
I'm not arguing that point. 20 seconds left, and bomb will be picked up for IDK, but with 3 players around him, 1 towards Banana as well. I don't know how he's gonna get this bomb plant off, and well, he's not going to. Twist gets his 13th kill of the half, and Liquid are up 9-2 now. I mean, Tom, if we're like bluntly and perfectly honest, this should be a landslide match for Liquid. I don't think anyone out there can argue against that. But then again, we don't really know what kind of form Liquid's really showing up with today, considering how this whole group stage has gone for them.
Yeah, that's true. Although I think that the teams they've lost to are Furia, who've been fantastic, and then
yeah.
Envy, who just surprised everyone, I think. Like, a lot of their players have been informed, so I think yeah, gaming would be a big surprise considering they haven't beaten anybody. So that would be basically where you do have to worry if you're a Liquid fan. If they just walk over this game, you can't really say anything about it. It's like, okay, they're definitely not the team that was #1 in the world, but they are still the team that can beat a Brazilian team who hasn't really done anything yet. It's like, okay, well done. Like, this game's sort of a lose-lose for Liquid in the sense of, like, if they did lose the match, it would be atrocious, and if they win, everybody was like, yeah, you should. That's basically it. It's not going to be one of those games where we're sat there going, oh, they're back, they're performing, they're playing at the level they should be. No. But it is a must-win if they want to continue. And to be honest, if they go into the playoffs, it doesn't matter. Like, the group stage is irrelevant at that point. Like, many teams have just about scraped it through group stages before and managed to win tournaments. So if they can get through this stage, from here on out, everybody would forget the past.
Well, I think the only problem is that, like, Liquid's fate isn't necessarily in their own hands. Like, even if they do win this match, they're not guaranteed through. It comes down to the results from other games. The one in particular is the Envy game versus Bad News Bears, which I believe is going on over on the C stream. But now with about 30 seconds left, and just the pistols, yeah, Gaming looking to push in towards the safe side. There'll still be 3 players waiting, and Twist, well, he's been quick. He's been on fire so far in this game. And he's going to be holding in towards pit. And you can see Dumao just has so many angles to clear. The bomb is rotating back towards long. And Twist already able to take care of the pressure coming short. They're going to go into CT spawn, and they're going to just be met by the spray down from Naf. And now 10-2.
Yeah, and in all honesty, at that point of the round, they just needed to die. Like, they were 9 seconds away from saving some Tech 9s and a Deagle. So definitely wouldn't have been ideal. Good round from Liquid, though. They finally build up a little bit of extra cash. It's been the only real thing that we can talk about for Yeah Gaming, is they have been making these rounds costly. And they have found a lot of opening picks. The only issue is they haven't converted any of them. And you do kind of wonder if some of that's because Liquid's being a little bit more aggressive than they would be normally. Like, Elige has basically gone and peeked into mid almost every single round, or at least thrown an incendiary down there, trying to line up nades. One of the times they got caught out by a player pushing through their smoke, a Molotov. It's not necessarily been the most standard Counter-Strike, I would say, from Liquid. They're feeling confident, and you can definitely see why.
I feel like if they did start to lose some rounds consistently and fall behind, then they would kind of like, all right, guys, let's come together and let's just, you know, knock this game out. I mean, there might be a lot of pressure on them, but I feel like they definitely got one of the best opponents to go into this match with, considering Yeah Gaming are 0-4. They've all grouped up towards Banana again. You can see Naf and Stewie still waiting to receive. The potential rotate coming in from Nitro if they didn't need it. However, he's down to 18 HP. It seems like every place that Yeah goes, they just take a bunch of damage and then they don't really get the commit off or are gifted an early pick, since Liquid are playing a lot more passive now. They're really struggling to get those entries. Like Dislodging, Twist, and Pit has been tough for them. Even dealing with middle, even though they've been successful a couple of times with RCF in particular, they do get some ground, but then the smokes come down, the flashes, and they get stalled again. But with only 30 seconds left, they're going to have to commit to one side, and it's got to be B at this rate.
The worry is an incendiary's just gone down. There's still a couple of flashbangs to try and slow them even further. They are going to see the smoke, but I think that's missed, so it's not really that much of an issue. And Stewie spraying away. Still going to trade things back. Do they even expect Naf, though? Do they even expect him? All he has to do is deny the plant, and he knows it. There goes the round. It's over. Doesn't even matter from here on out. There's nothing Dumar can do. Just wants to try and save the AWP, and that'll be it. But, yeah, it just needed to check their corners there. A mistake, once again, unfortunately, for Yeah Gaming. And Naf even, like, the one thing that scared me there is he didn't go for the planter straight away. He was like, I want this kill.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
I'll go for the planter. You're like, just get the job done. But, you know, if you can do both, why not?
That was a bit odd. But they still got the kills. Doesn't matter. 11-2. Thing is, like, Yeah Gaming, you can't be missing smokes like that. Like, just period. Unless it was intentional, which I'd say there's no way in hell it was. You can't have that happen. If you want to beat a team like Liquid, they're going to take advantage of that every single time. And, well, it will be a 1-for-1 trade. Elise trying to get aggressive down towards middle. Stewie able to respawn with the aggressive push towards Banana. But it's still going to be 11-2, and the only real weapon they do have... Actually, they do have an M4 now recovered, but they do have the AWP. And hence the Dumao. I would assume... Yeah, I said real weapon, though.
So did I.
Yeah, how about that real weapon?
It doesn't matter what they're holding if they're just going to get orbed by Nitro. Gotta go back and retrieve the bomb. Not that I see them getting onto a site at this point, unless they can kill Stewie. And that's mainly the only way. It is quite interesting, though, the fact that that is now the second or third time that he's just tried to run down mid, spice it up a little bit, and just been insta-killed. And they've still won the round almost quite comfortably. Well, they haven't yet, but the fact that they're already in a 4v2 after he goes down. Stewie, got to be a little bit careful, but Dumar doesn't hit the shot. Bomb down. Well, it seems like just a game of who can pad their HLTV stats at this point. As we sit 12-2. Pretty sure the T side will be fairly demoralized at this point. But they will at least get one more buy to try and get a third.
Well, you know, Elige, he's not quite art, at least in this game.
Yeah.
I swear, the amount of times I see him push middle and get away with it is just ridiculous. But we're into the final round of the half. I mean, Yeah Gaming, they did take only 2 rounds each map up against Envy. Looking to do better here. Potentially get a third on the board. You have a Mac 10, and IDK does get the shot onto Stewie as well. So they do get the opener. They get the man advantage. But how can they capitalize off this is be my question in Elite. All right. Quick little flick to the head. And now it's back to a 4-on-4.
Yeah, luckily Liquid's pick was actually Mirage, so at least it's a map that they have been playing quite consistently in their series, so it's something that they can go on to and try and give them a run for their money there. The only issue is they're not even winning a lot of the individual aim battles, and Mirage pretty much plays perfectly off that double up setup we've seen as well. Here we go. They're going to try again to clear that man who's barely been dying. He's going to be in position again. He falls this time, though. They've been given an opportunity. However, already Nitro has turned it back into an advantageous spot. Hits the shot through the smoke as well. Just pre-firing the angle he spotted moments ago. Even going to drop the bomb. Didn't really need to plant it just yet, but IDK is going to get the trade back. Gives him an opportunity. The incendiary won't reach, but the nade will. Peeks out, and he can't do anything. An utterly dominant half from Liquid, looking to try and put any of the doubters to rest. And we'll be back after the break to see if they're going to close this clean.
When you feel it's hopeless, when you think that you lost, oh, I will take your hand and we'll rise up from the dust. Oh, here we go, 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 let us heal and grow. You won't be alone, we're unstoppable. Don't be afraid to show what we're going for. This is what we know. Here we come back to life, we're still breathing. Standing up, everybody's gonna see it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. Even if we fall, we will rise up and we follow the path that we believe in. No, we're not gonna stop until we reach it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne. We all have our reasons why we are on this track. Oh, we all have our burdens, yeah, but we just keep on fighting and we never look back. Here we go, 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 let us heal and grow. You won't be alone, we're unstoppable. Don't be afraid to show what we're going for. This is what we know. Here we come back to life, we're still breathing. Standing up, everybody's gonna see it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. Even if we fall, we will rise up and we follow the path that we believe in. No, we're not gonna stop until we reach it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne. It's been the road less traveled. Feeling my body leveled on my own. I can just feel it, no way to stop it. The sounds of the music, so through my bones. I can just taste it, no need to
Well, the first half was utterly dominant. Now we get to see whether or not Yeah Gaming can at least take themselves the pistol round to give themselves a chance in their map choice. That's the real worry here. This is their choice, Jason, and they need a pistol just to survive in it.
Yeah. I mean, to be brutally honest, I don't think they're going to be able to take Inferno. Maybe Mirage will be a closer map, closer affair, because they did take MIBR to overtime, but they still lost 18-22. But as we can see, Liquid, they've grouped up towards Banana. There's no one there defending the site. They've definitely gone for the big stack towards A. They do have a kit, so potentially playing for the retake here. However, retaking the B side, I feel like it's going to be a little bit difficult, especially when Liquid gets just tucked away in sight here. And you can see the execute coming through. They're pushing in. IDK, see if he can hit a shot or two. And the flashbang, it catches him perfectly.
It's actually interesting they don't smoke CT at all, so it gives it way back in. I think the CT side are almost a little bit confused by this, as they are going to set up. Now, they've got an incendiary smoke and a flashbang for the retake, so if they were going to have a chance, they've got the utensils to do it. The only problem is, will they expect this many players to be sat at the bottom of Banana? I'm not so sure. So this rotation coming through Banana is going to be a tough one. So much time being wasted. They, in fact, have to use their Incendiary, which is going to buy even more time. And Naf is just going to be spamming shots through the woods. You can see IDK just waiting. He's like, guys, are we even going to get towards the site? Is there any point me rotating? And Naf is just killing everyone along the way. It's going to be left onto IDK, and well, by that point, there wasn't even any time on the clock. Liquid, they take the pistol, and, well, if Yeah Gaming come back from this, I don't even know what to say.
You'll shave your head.
Sure.
You'll wax your eyebrows off.
No.
They take a long time to grow.
I have lost enough hair in my life to not shave my eyebrows off. I'm in credit.
That's true. You've been through enough already. Oh, Liquid's gonna deny any sort of aggression out of Yeah towards Banana. Lulu coming in for Nitro, gets the first kill. Dumal's gonna peek around the corner and just get tagged up, so they know at least one more player is gonna be here. In the meantime, Elise just pushed up middle with the AK. He's gotten a kill. And yeah, this is basically no respect. I'm not playing with any sort of strategy here. It's just kind of push, look for an aim duel. And Stewie, what is that?
Unfortunately, the remaining two have to try and save. It's kind of depressing, I won't lie. I'm not going to pretend like I'm particularly enjoying Yeah Gaming get battered again. Like, I would say that we're the curse, but one of the times we were here, they managed to take a map off of Furia, so...
Yeah, that was the only map they got the entire group stage, unfortunately.
Not a bad map to take. the team that's currently flawless throughout the group, but yeah.
But that's what's weird, right? Because they take a map versus Furia. I mean, maybe because it's more of a home battle between them, but they don't take a map off Envy. They get absolutely slaughtered by them. They almost took a map off MIBR, and then they almost took a map off of Bad News Bears. And I'm not saying Bad News Bears is a bad team, but I wouldn't rate them as good as Envy or MIBR or Furia. So it's really kind of awkward to see that that's the one map they get against a team like them.
Okay, that's it. He's got himself an AK, and it's gone. That was very quick. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of saw that coming, but you know, you got to be at least positive for those few seconds you can within this map. Yeah, the same buy again. It's gonna be a few MP9s. We got a FAMAS. That's something extra at least. And then on the other side, rifles. It's just how it goes. If you don't manage to get enough rounds in the first half, especially on the CT side, getting purchases is nigh on impossible. Can't really blame the Brazilians for going for investments in the last round. Like, you're fighting against very little here. RCF does at least manage to connect the tag early into the round, so he's going to whittle a few of those players away. And as said, Tattersym previously was pretty damn good with this MP9, so I'm hoping maybe he can get them a third round.
Well, that's the first. Almost gets the second onto Stewie. Molotov at least keep them separated, but again, Ali's just kind of lurking over towards the A side, gets a kill into the back of the head of Tattersym. And the rest of Liquid looking to push him towards the A site now, where, well, Fasten's going to be the only one defending, and all he has is the deagle. Maybe that's all he needs if he can connect the shots. That's the first one coming through, and almost connecting onto Twist. The bomb will be planted here, and it comes down to RCF with the AK for the retake.
Yeah, he's at least got an AK. AK and a kit, so he's got a little bit of extra time. Doesn't have any utility. He's got 2 players to find. Now, Alicia's already tagged. And still has utility to play with. Smoke even going to fall down. Perfectly placed as well, which is just going to waste so much time. I feel like it almost might be worth just trying to push through it to risk it for a biscuit. Catch them off guard. Finding them in this crossfire is going to be relatively difficult. Especially with the Liege, basically just holding back. He's low on HP. First kill comes out. And it's going to be for Liquid. That was a very quick map of Counter-Strike.